So the first step is to start making the dough. Now I use my bread machine to make my dough, so I'm going to put all the ingredients into the loaf pan. Okay, now I have all my ingredients in the loaf pan, so now I'm going to put it into the bread machine, and I'm going to turn it on according to the instructions in my manual for making French bread dough. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so about 20 minutes ago my bread machine beeped, letting me know that the dough is done. But what I do, I'm kind of cheating a little bit. Instead of taking the dough out and letting it rise some more, I have found that the bread machine is a perfect environment, if you have room in it, if your loaf pan is big enough like mine is, to just let the dough rise in the bread machine by itself. So now I'm going to open it, take it out, and just get started making my loaves. Okay, so now what I do after I have preheated the oven, sprayed the pan, and prepared my egg wash, now I'm going to take the dough out of the pan. So you're going to want to have a little bit of flour on your surface. I'm going to get a lot of flour on my hands, just so that nothing sticks to my hands. And I kind of like to elongate the dough a little because I'm going to be dividing it in half. And how I divide the dough in half is I take my fingers about midsection, and I try to get them to touch, and then I start to kind of shake it out a little bit, and then I'm going to take it and twist. Okay, so now I've got 2 dough balls that I'm going to be working with. We're making 2 loaves. Okay, so you're going to want to take your dough and kind of elongate it just to get you started. And what we want to do is we want to roll our dough out into a long rectangle. But from this elongated piece of dough, you are going to roll it up into itself. And I like to do it in thirds. So I'm going to roll the dough third way in, and then we're going to finish it off. And you always want your seam to be on the bottom. I try to put my seam just like this. There we go. And you kind of pinch the ends together. And once I have my loaf rolled on top of itself, to get it from springing back again, I just kind of roll it again, because I'm going for that Subway bread look so that we can easily make sandwiches on it. And then you can place it in your pan. Okay, now after your dough has been placed in your pan, you are going to want to egg wash it. What this is going to do is it's going to give your bread a nice shiny tan sheen to it. It's also going to help keep the inside fresh. It's just a wonderful thing to do for French bread. It's going to turn out great. Okay, and lastly, to give your French bread loaves that classic French bread look, you are going to want to put little slits with a knife into your bread at an angle. I usually put about 4 or 5. That's up to you. This just helps the bread rise and not crack on the top. Here we go. Just nice little slits. Don't make them deep. And that's it. So now that the loaves have been pulled out of the oven, what I like to do is transfer them over to a cooling rack. This stops the baking process, and I think it makes the bread a little bit softer. Of course, this is optional, you don't have to do that, but and then when we're ready to eat them, I cut the bread long ways and open them up and load them up with meat and cheese and vegetables, and the kids just love them. I actually made sub sandwiches for my daughter's volleyball team last weekend. The kids just loved them. They travel great, and it's a nice cheap way to feed an entire team. So for those of you with bread machines, go ahead and give it a try.